Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a seriously fascinating concept that can literally change how everyone around you perceives you the second you walk through the door. We're talking about the silent power of calm. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down 7 actionable body language hacks that project instant power and respect. If you've ever wondered why certain people just seem to command total authority without having to say a single word, well, you are definitely in the right place. Let's decode exactly how true presence is built from the outside in.
So, have you ever noticed who truly commands a room? Just visualize a really chaotic, high-stakes environment for a second. Maybe it's a frantic boardroom, a packed networking event, or a super tense crisis meeting. People are talking incredibly fast, shifting their weight around, totally scrambling for answers. But amidst all of that noise, who actually stands out as the ultimate authority figure? It's almost never the loudest person in the room. It's almost always the person who serves as the calm center of the storm. Okay, let's dive into this. There's a massive, undeniable contrast between 2 physical archetypes here: nervous energy and silent authority. Notice how nervous energy is entirely characterized by fast movements, fidgeting hands, quickly darting eyes, and this physically shrinking posture. On the flip side, silent authority is the exact opposite, right? It's defined by incredibly slow, deliberate movements, totally still hands, steady eyes, and a very expansive, relaxed posture. Power really isn't about being loud or dominant. It is entirely about absolute self-mastery.
All right, moving to section 1, mastering movement and stillness. This brings us right to hack number 1, slow down your movements. Picture someone just strolling into a deeply chaotic room, sipping a coffee, totally unhurried. When you deliberately slow your pace in a fast-moving, high-stress environment, you're physically broadcasting that you are completely unbothered by the chaos swirling around you. It's a real game changer. Your pace actually dictates your power.
The source material hits the nail on the head with this. Powerful people rarely rush. Fast movements signal nervousness. Slow movements signal control. I really want you to internalize that. When you move quickly, darting your eyes around or rushing your steps, you're subconsciously telling everyone else that the environment is dictating your behavior. An unhurried pace acts as this brilliant physical manifestation of your own internal stability.
Which leads us perfectly into hack number 3. Imagine you're sitting at a table with someone who is just anxiously tapping their fingers against the wood. You can almost feel that nervous energy cutting right through the silence, matching the tick of a clock on the wall. That nervous, frantic energy actually highlights the sheer power of doing the exact opposite, keeping your own hands perfectly relaxed and totally still.
Nervous hands reveal nervous thoughts. Still hands create silent authority. Think about it. Fidgeting literally leaks your power. Whether it's playing with a pen, bouncing your leg up and down, or tapping your fingers, it completely betrays a lack of internal calm. Eliminating these little micro-movements and just embracing absolute stillness is for sure one of the fastest ways to instantly upgrade your perceived confidence today.
Up next is section 2, the eyes and the pause.
And this brilliantly illustrates hack number 2, which is all about maintaining steady eyes. Imagine someone is talking to you incredibly fast, throwing their hands around all over the place. By staying completely visually present and locking in a steady gaze with a neutral expression, you don't just participate in the conversation, you anchor it. You essentially become the gravitational center of that entire interaction.
Most people break eye contact too quickly. Confident people stay present without staring aggressively. Now, it's incredibly important to realize the nuance here. Holding eye contact is absolutely not about intimidating the other person. You aren't trying to stare them down in some weird dominance challenge. Rather, you're just demonstrating that you're entirely comfortable holding a human connection without feeling the nervous urge to flee or look away.
That brings us right to hack number 5. Imagine a super high-stakes question has just been thrown your way. Instead of jumping immediately to fill the silence, just execute a calm, slow blink and pause thoughtfully before you answer. Really think about the subtle power of that pregnant pause before speaking. It creates this beautiful moment of deliberate suspension.
So, why does that pause work so magically? Because people who react instantly often seem overly emotional, while a short pause makes your words feel much heavier. When you instantly fire back an answer, you can come off as reactive and defensive. By simply taking just 1 to 2 seconds to breathe before you speak, you add incredible gravity, weight, and thoughtfulness to whatever comes out of your mouth next.
Okay, moving on to section 3, claiming your physical space.
Hack number 4 is all about open posture. This is simply the act of uncrossing your arms and leaning back comfortably wherever you are.
Why is this absolutely critical? Well, closed body language, like crossing your arms or hunching your shoulders, creates a literal physical distance between you and everyone else. And open posture eliminates those physical barriers. It signals friendliness, totally removes defensiveness, and actually makes people trust you exponentially faster.
Now, what's really interesting about this next one is how it applies to sitting. This is hack number 6. If you look at someone who is tense, hunched over, and visibly trying to take up as little room as possible, they're projecting deep insecurity. Compare that to someone sitting comfortably, shoulders completely relaxed, and open. The literal physical footprint of a confident person is just vastly different from a nervous person.
Confident people don't try to disappear. They sit comfortably without shrinking themselves. Refusing to shrink is a fundamental, silent declaration that you belong exactly where you are. You aren't apologizing for your existence in that room. Claiming your space physically proves that you are deeply secure in your own skin.
Which leads us to section 4, calmness under intense pressure.
Now, hack number 7 is the ultimate test. I want you to imagine a deeply, truly chaotic office. Papers are literally scattering everywhere, phones are ringing off the hook, and everyone around you is just absolutely panicking. But right in the center of all that madness, you stand perfectly still, steady breathing, calm, serious eyes, absolutely zero panic.
This brings us to the entire core thesis of our explainer today. The strongest body language is emotional control. Calmness makes people feel your presence. When everyone else is losing their head, the person who remains grounded doesn't just survive the chaos, they instantly become the room's anchor. Your emotional control basically becomes a beacon that draws others to you for direction and leadership.
Finally, let's wrap up with section 5, true authority from within.
Okay, let's turn all of this great theory into a practical, everyday toolkit for you. Think of this as your pre-meeting physical checklist. Just run through these 7 actionable takeaways right before you step into any stressful situation. Number 1, slow down your movements. 2, hold steady eye contact. 3, stop fidgeting entirely. 4, use an open, welcoming posture. 5, deliberately pause before speaking. 6, take up physical space without apology. And number 7, above all else, maintain your emotional control.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful thought drawn straight from our source material today. People respect the person who controls themselves before trying to control the room. True authority is never something you can just force onto other people. It's a high internal standard that naturally and silently commands respect from the outside world.
So as we close out this explainer, I have one final provocative question to leave you with. Are you controlling yourself or are you letting the room control you? The very next time you walk into a chaotic, stressful space, I want you to remember the silent power of calm. Master these 7 hacks. Anchor yourself firmly and just watch how the entire room shifts around you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.
Thank you.